Hey folks, Twisha Christian here. Today I'm going to do the intro to a video that I want to present to you guys from Johnny Currency365. And it was a prophetic dream that I couldn't exchange after the Dinar RV. And this video is actually going to lay the groundwork for the next several videos, because I have some other prophetic words concerning this too as well, doing a little bit more research that I came across. In this prophetic dream, there's other prophetic clues about the Iraqi dinar and about when it possibly could revalue, and a few other things also concerning these private groups that are out there. So in my next video, I will actually discuss the dream and give you some of my thoughts and my opinions and what I believe God is sharing with me about this particular dream. This is important because the dinar is part of the wealth transfer. It's one of Kim Clement's 8 wells, and there's also many prophetic words and dreams that are out there concerning this. In my personal opinion is I do believe that we are going to receive some of the wealth transfer before the Iraqi dinar, because a lot of us will probably be putting our profits into the dinar and also other currencies too as well, from some of the cryptocurrency wealth transfer. When it comes to this, there will be one last great deception before you can actually go into the banks for these people to try to get your dinars. And I don't know how much more clear than any of us that have been talking about this can be. And if you're still part of the private groups and they've been giving you information about revaluation and they still try to get you to send their dinars to them, it's not a group that you should be a part of. At this point, I do encourage anybody who's part of a private group and you've sent your dinars off to ask for them back. One thing to keep in mind, that if you are a person that is collecting people's dinars with the promise of giving them a higher return than the bank, you can end up in various serious trouble, whether you have good intentions or bad intentions. And if you are somebody that is collecting dinars on other people's behalf, I would probably recommend that you start sending those dinars back to those individuals, because on the day of, people are thinking that somebody's going to turn in some dinars and send them some money. They're going to have a wake-up call. And just like in the video I showed you guys about the Iraqi dinar gurus who were being arrested, and they infiltrated these groups. And people will go as far as creating fake websites that will promise to exchange your dinars. Oh, there's going to be a whole host of things that they're going to try to do right before this happens. So in the next video, I will discuss and give you my breakdown of the prophetic dream. And I'm going to correlate that with other prophetic words concerning the dinar. I know there's a lot of people that do not belong to any private group or anything like that, but you should pay attention, because right before this actually takes place, there might be some temptations to do that or to send off some of your dinars. You might have these fake websites pop up pretending to be brokers, and that they can exchange your dinar at a higher rate. If you are a dinar news publisher, for your own protection, I would not promote any 800 numbers or redemption centers or so-called brokers or private groups or anything like that, because on the day of, when people are looking for answers, they're going to be emailing you and they're going to try to find out exactly who you are and if you're a part of all that. And there's many out there. So I'd recommend that I wouldn't publish any information concerning 800 numbers, redemption centers, so-called dinar brokers, or private groups. So I want you guys to take a listen and wait for the next video to come out after this one. So God bless, and here's Johnny, Currency365.
All right. Welcome back to Currency365. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, so we have an interesting dream here about not being able to exchange. Okay, and I'm not going to say the person's name, but the person's on Patreon, and yeah, and so we're gonna go through this and see what's going on, right? So it basically is a dream that they were not able to exchange after the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Okay. And I'm pretty sure other people have had this dream before as well. If you've had this dream of not being able to exchange, put it in the comment section and let us know. Okay, we want to know if you were able, if you ever had a dream that you weren't able to exchange for any type of reason at all. All right, so let's get into the dream. So this person says it's a male. That's why we're representing with the male on the screen here. Um, I think this guy that's on the screen was banned from Saudi Arabia or something for for being too handsome or something like that. It was something weird back in the day. Like he would make the reason why is because women would lust out over him or something. Like married women and all women would be lust if he was there. They would lust over him or something. I don't know. So I think they like banned him or something from coming to. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. But anyways. Um, Let's get started. So, this person says, I had a weird dream about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, confirming that the powers that be, or the powers that should not be, right, don't want us to exchange. Okay. And so, yeah, it says, in the dream, they allowed an old white woman to exchange 3 days early only because she was getting $21,000. Hmm, that's interesting. I wonder why $21,000. So if you have a 25K note, that's basically a little bit under 1 to 1. Because a 25K note at 1 to 1 would be $25,000. So maybe it was 1 to 1, and then they took some fees out, yeah, transaction fee or exchange fees, and they gave her $21,000. I don't know. Okay, but either way, she was given $21,000. Okay, so a old white, basically a Caucasian woman, older Caucasian woman was able to exchange 3 days early only because she was getting $21,000. So she didn't have, so maybe she had one note, and so she was able to exchange that note, and they used that to make it look like everybody was going to be able to exchange, I guess. So let's continue here. It says, they use her to show that the exchange was real. Okay, there it goes right there. All right. So they used this woman to basically deceive people to make it look like, okay, we're all going to exchange, right? And they wanted the people to be excited about exchanging. Okay, but the truth was that they used her as a stunt, but had no intentions of letting anyone exchange. Now, some people have told me that Miss Solomon, Apostle Solomon, had a dream that we didn't have any problems exchanging. So, and I'm pretty sure other people have had that dream as well. So if you've had a dream that we had no problems exchanging, go ahead and put it in the comments section as well so we can know. So we have people have dreams of standing in line at the banks. We talked about this yesterday, right, in the other video, right? And ready to exchange. We have people exchanging in their dreams, right? And some people had problems with their exchange in the dreams. Some people received the black card, some people received some other things, right? And then we had people making announcements that other currencies had revalued while they were in line. Okay, and now we have this guy saying that a woman was used to exchange to make it deceive us that we all were going to be able to exchange right after, but that was not the case. Okay, man, this is we're taking all sides here, so it is what it is. You guys let me know in the comment section what do you think about this. Um okay, so it says that so the people were excited, but the truth was that they were using this woman as a stunt, but had no intentions on letting anyone exchange. When the next group, interesting that it's a group, when the next group were going to exchange, the next group. When the RV happens, there shouldn't be groups unless you're talking about the private groups, right? Because everybody would the public exchange is just going to be random. Everybody's just going to go in whenever they want to while the banks are open. So why would they be in groups unless you're part of a private group? So is this a vision of the private groups? Hmm, might be. Okay, because the public exchange, you're not going to be grouped. You're going to be, the banks are going to be open. You'll be able to go in and exchange like you can right now. Like you can go in and exchange the Vietnamese dong right now, and you can go and exchange the Indonesia right now. You can go and exchange. You can't exchange the Iraqi dinar because a lot of places don't accept it right now because it doesn't. It's not internationally with supply and demand, or they just refuse to accept it until something happens, right? But you can go into banks as long as it's working hours, and you can go into banks that deal with foreign currencies and do exchanges for US dollars right now, right? And so you're not going to be grouped. So when this person says that when the next group were going to exchange, this tells me that this might be the private groups, right? Where they're dangling the 1-800 numbers and all that stuff, right? And the higher rates and stuff. So they will pretend they'll let somebody exchange for a low amount, trying to deceive everybody. Say, I told you the private groups are exchanging. I told you that you can be able to drop off your currency at hotels and everything's gonna be all right. I told you Currency was lying. I told you Benny was lying, right? I told you TC was lying, right? I told you everybody was lying about this, right? That yeah, we're gonna be able to exchange. That lady was able to exchange, but then when the next group were going to exchange, their currency was confiscated. This doesn't sound like the public exchange, folks. This sounds like the private exchanges, right? That Dorsey was talking about. There's a public exchange and there's a private exchange. And then we broke it down in simpler terms for everybody, right? This sounds like the private groups. So they're gonna dangle somebody out there, an old lady, so everybody can see that she exchanged and she's happy. I'm so excited. I got my money. And then everybody go, oh man, the private groups are exchanging. Let's go. Let's send our currency. Let's send our currencies to the hotels. Let's send our currencies in the mail to these people for higher rates. She got a higher rate. So it looks like they did that to deceive people here. And then once you send your currency was confiscated, right? So, and so it says the next group we're going to exchange, their currency was confiscated. Now, how is your currency confiscated at the banks, right? That's not possible. Why would a bank confiscate your currency, right? They would just exchange your currency. The tellers have no clue what's going on, right? So they would just exchange your currency, and they would put it in there, and you should be good to go. But the private groups, yeah, if you send your currency, it would be compensated by them, right? If you give it to them at a hotel, it will be compensated. Yeah, it would be. And then this person says, I said to Benny, we are supposed to exchange on the 21st. So there's that number again, the 21st. So first, the lady got $21,000. And now he's saying to Benny that they're supposed to exchange on the 21st. So that's their number. That's the number again, is coming up the 21st. What do we do? And Benny said, what day is the 21st? I looked on the calendar. It was a Friday. Benny said, that day is correct. In order to get paid, we need an uprising from all the people to show we've had enough and we want what is rightfully ours. Huh. That's very interesting. That doesn't sound like a public exchange, folks. That sounds like people are being deceived in a private exchange. What do you guys think about that? Okay. So let me read it one. I'm going to read it just clear. I'm going to read it the whole thing one more time and then we'll discuss it again. I had a weird dream about the Iraqi dinar revaluation, confirming that the powers that should not be don't want us to exchange. In the dream, they allowed an old white woman to exchange 3 days early only because she was getting $21,000. They used her to show that the exchange was real and wanted the people to be excited. But the truth was, they used her as a stunt, but had no intentions of letting anyone exchange. When the next group were going to exchange, their currency was confiscated. I said to Benny, we are supposed to exchange on the 21st. What do we do? Benny said, what day is the 21st? I looked on the calendar. It was a Friday. Benny said, that day is correct. In order to get paid, we need an uprising from all the people to show we've had enough and we want what is rightfully ours. Now, folks, does that sound like a public exchange or does that sound like a private exchange? Could they do it in the public exchange for some strange reason? Maybe. But everything here screams private exchange, where people are giving up their currencies are confiscated. They're going to hotels, they're calling the 1-800 numbers, and they're sending their currencies to different locations for private for greed of higher rates, and their currencies are being confiscated. They're being told what time to come in to do their exchanges. Banks will never tell you when to come in to do your exchanges. You go into the bank whenever you want to, right? So so they're getting so they're being told what time that they're able to call the 1-800 numbers most likely, or go to a hotel, or go to do their exchange at some location, and their currencies are being confiscated. So they dangled this woman out there to make it look like it was legit. And then everybody, instead of going to the public exchange, everybody was deceived to go to a private exchange because of that one lady got paid out. So and the rates were way higher than the public exchange. So let's say the public exchange comes out at 1-to-1, but these guys are dangling out there that the private exchange is 7-to-1. So it looks like it looks like even Benny got caught up in it. And according to the dream, even Benny got his money confiscated, or tried to do some of his money. Maybe he did a little bit of his money in the private exchange to see if it was real. I mean, who knows, right? Because he's in the dream and he's telling the guy, and the guy says, "Hey, Benny, we were supposed to exchange on the 21st. What do we do?" And then Benny said, "We need to uprise." So that means that Benny also tried in the dream. This guy and Benny probably sent their money in. They were supposed to exchange on the 21st, maybe come back to the hotel, or come back and call the 1-800 number, or whatever they were supposed to do. They were supposed to complete their exchange on the 21st, but yet they got the notice that the currencies are being confiscated, right? So I don't know. So greed, folks, you got to watch out for greed. And that's what all this. All this is greed. When somebody says, "Hey, man, I can exchange your currency at $7 to one, man, just send it in to me," and you don't know who this person is, even if you knew who they were, why would you think that you're so special that you can get 7-to-1? While everybody else is getting 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, why do you think you're so special to get that type of rate, right? So, let supply and demand decide what the rate is going to be, right? Because can like TC said, or like the guy said in the video yesterday, he saw it going up to 8-to-1 with supply and demand, right? Supply and demand can take it up to 7-to-1, 8-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, folks. You don't need private groups and sending your money to strangers to do that. The public exchange with supply and demand can get it there, right? So I think even Kuwait was went really high, when they did the reinstatement, because of supply and demand. But it didn't last long. Of course, it's not going to last long up there because it's not. That's not, that's not reality. I mean, 7-1, 8-1 is not reality for Iraq. Iraq's reality is about 250, 170 to 250 range is the reality, right? That's where they should be at. So when it's up at 4, 5, 6, 7, that's because the supply and demand is just pumping it and it's overreacting. That's all it is. It's all this is overreaction, and then it corrects itself and then it comes back to a norm, right? So be careful, folks. They're gonna try everything to get you to switch from the public exchange where you're guaranteed to get whatever you get to go private. They're gonna dangle people out. They're gonna entertain you. They're gonna dangle people out when the memos are sent out. Somebody's gonna know, right? And somebody in the elites is going to know, right? And they're going to tell these gurus to go ahead and announce somebody has exchanged or older lady has exchanged. And that's going to be the carrot that they dangle out in front of everybody. So, and they do it. And then you see how he said that they did it 3 days early. Why? Because they're telling people, don't go public exchange where you're guaranteed to get your money. Go private exchange where we can confiscate your money, right? So they made sure that they came out 3 days early so that they can switch people's minds, so they can make people like us look false and say, "Oh, no, 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 you will exchange. Look, this lady exchanged. Look, we're dangling this one lady out there, not 10,000 people, but just one lady out here, and she's celebrating. She's happy. Maybe they show a video of her. Hey, I exchanged. Finally, right? It's been years. I exchanged. Go private. Go to the private group. They're giving the higher rates. They're using her." And then all these Dinar people that were supposed to go to the public exchange, 80% of them go private for greed. And you know what I mean? And so only 20% actually exchange. So, they're gonna try anything to try to get your mind from exchanging normally to giving up those currencies, giving up that dinar, right, into their hand. They're going to try anything and everything. So, including dangling old ladies out there, dangling anybody, right? Having a politician come out and say, "Hey, I want to congratulate, these groups of people on a great success private exchange I just had. I want to thank them. Yeah, so good job. We waited a long time. We knew this was going to happen. And finally, the day's come, and we went with these guys, and it was a great experience in the private exchange." They can even pay politicians to do stuff like this. And these politicians probably don't know probably don't even have a clue that all the other people that come after him is going to be his exchange went well because they're using him as a deception. Everybody else after him though was confiscated, and he doesn't have a clue, right? So you got to be careful, folks. You got to be careful. They're going to advertise anything and everything to get you to go to the private exchange, because that's what it sounds like. This is not a public exchange that I'm hearing in this vision. I'm hearing a private exchange here, and how they're confiscating everybody's currency. So that's up to you guys, man. If you want to fall for it and you want to fall for the trickery, that's going to be on you. Okay, you've already been warned thousands of times. If your heart's led by greed, then that's what it is. Your heart will be led by greed, and you're not going to like this experience. If your heart is led by greed, you're not going to like the world that you're going to live in, right? Because if your heart's led by greed, then only thing that you're gonna see is destruction, mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna see destruction. Your family's gonna be destroyed because of your greed. You're not gonna be happy because of greed. I mean, anybody that's in greed right now and is not living a good life. You know what I mean? They're not happy. They probably can't sleep, and because they're greedy. They're greedy people. Greedy people do not live good lives. I don't care how much money they have. They don't live good lives. Their hearts are always, their hearts are broken and raw and tainted, and just they live in a state of chaos. when you have greed in your heart. So understand that. Anyways, peace out. God bless. That was an awesome dreams, and that was a good warning dream. That even people like maybe like Benny are going to attempt to see, give their money over to, and maybe just Benny was just being used as a guide in the dream. But there's gonna be people of that caliber that are going to even still try. Even if it's just 100,000 dinars, they're gonna at least try. 1 million dinars. They're gonna try to see if they can get the higher rates, and then their money will be confiscated. So don't be led by greed. Don't be led by greed. Do not be led by greed, folks. All right. Peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.